I'm here at divorce court to figure the situation out with my husband.
My biggest pet peeve with Kay is she talks too much.
When I first met Dwayne, he was fun and free, and to us, now it's more like just him.
I do live as a single man in so many ways.
To save our marriage, Dwayne just has to change.
Divorce court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Kay Upchurch and Dwayne Upchurch. The two of you have been married for 9 years, together for 16, but you are calling it a day. We're going to talk about why this marriage is ending. So I want to talk to you, Ms. Upchurch. Why don't you tell me what's wrong?
I have an absent husband.
Absent husband. In what sense is he absent?
He just not at home.
Okay.
I call,
give me
he
the
don't
progression,
answer.
because I'm sure he showed up, like, after the wedding. He was there.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so now,
how
look,
did he
now we
start to become missing?
Okay, so let's get one story. So his mom dies, and I get a room, because I know he has a problem with the kids. So, you know, I knew at this time, you know, kind of get that little wait time. And I was like, okay. We get to the repast, and he was just like, go get the room, and kind of brushed me off, because, you know, he got family there and stuff. So I went and got the room and sat there and waited, and waited, and waited.
He never came.
And he came late, drunk, you know, but didn't embrace me, though. And that's what makes him absent.
I want to clear up a few things. You say kids, like 2 or 3? Between the two of them, they got 12. How many of them are in the house?
Right now?
Right now.
7.
7. And 9 of the children are ones you had before you married her.
Correct.
And 3 of them are the same age, but they're not triplets. Yo, what are you doing? Well, I know what you're doing, but anyway, Mr. Upchurch, what do you say in response to her accusation that you are simply absent?
Well, as far as my mother passing, I just needed a little time and space. You know, I didn't want to. I didn't feel like I should have to answer to anybody or, you know, any of that when I know I was gonna come off wrong to somebody and then hurt somebody else in the process of me grieving.
Yeah.
So I was trying to give it a little space, but I did show up. Maybe I showed up late, but I showed up.
You get a pass when your mom dies.
Right.
You do ludicrous things because that's your mother. And it's like, whoa.
But then how about every day since then?
He didn't come back home at all?
No. Ever since then, it's not that. It's like, I thought, see, his mom, before she died, was like, hey, it's gonna be all right. You strong. That Saturday. And then she died. That threw me off. He did not, it's like he did not think I had emotions about it. He went to his other woman. He didn't come to me. And that
Did
hurts
you
my
have
feelings.
another woman at the time?
I had a friend, but ain't nothing like that.
So you weren't at her house? I didn't pull up and you weren't there? I got a picture to prove it.
You pulled up at the house?
Yes.
And she was there?
Yes.
Yeah, and the crazy part about it is, it just so happened, I had just so happened come to get there.
Every
and
time.
she pulled up.
Every time.
Well, she'd have been 5 minutes later, 5 minutes earlier, you wouldn't have seen me.
Ironic.
Well, let me ask you
God
this,
just
Mr.
let you
Upchurch. Have you, during the course of your marriage, been unfaithful to Mrs. Upchurch?
No, I can't say that. I mean...
Now, if you ask me,
You ain't been faithful?
I wouldn't have to wonder about it. So there's some issue there.
Talking to me, not you.
Right.
Mr. Upchurch, go ahead. Hush.
I ain't gonna say I try to take care of home as much as I can. So
I try to take care of home as much as I can is your response to have you ever cheated?
Oh, yeah, I mean, no. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. It's that simple. See how simple that was?
Is it a
Yes, I
regular
have
thing
nothing.
with you?
Yes, it is. How's it not regular and you're there all the time? You ain't been at home. Where you been?
Are you
I
living at
pulled up,
home right
she's
now?
running
Hang on,
to
hang
your
on. No,
car.
wait. You can holler at him at home on your own time.
He don't be there.
You don't currently live in the house with her, correct?
Nope.
Nope.
How long has it been since you've lived with her?
A month, so...
He's been gone all summer.
And why aren't you there?
I just feel like I'd be pressured and stressed a lot. You know, so I kind of...
Tell me what it's like at home. Why do you feel pressured and stressed?
Well, my wife, she seems to let kids do whatever they want to do. If I say don't do something, and if I leave and come back, and she know that they ain't supposed to done it, she let them done it anyways. And being in certain areas in the house, it's not kid-friendly, and I say don't nobody be in there, she'll allow it. So I feel like if something happened, it's my fault but I already stated don't nobody do this or don't touch this or leave my things alone. But she sometimes just be so careless about what's going on.
She's too lenient.
She got a good heart. I'm not saying never take it. It's just too soft.
Mr. Upchurch, it's an interesting response. If you believe that she's raising the children in the home too leniently, your response is not to step up and be the disciplinarian. Your response is to bounce.
When I ask for help.
How is that?
For help.
How is that cool?
Teenagers.
Mrs. Upchurch, I do not need any assistance from you. Mr. Upchurch?
It's not cool, but I be stuck, you know what I'm saying, rocking a hard spot.
You're the adult. You're the man. You're the guy in charge. You can decide. I mean, at one point there were 6 kids in my house. Everybody knew where they couldn't go. There was discipline because my husband and I were like, well, more my husband than me, because I was a bit of a softie, but that brother wasn't letting nothing wrong happen. That's your gig. Why don't you take it?
That job. Why don't you want to do that job?
It's still, but when your husband...
It's what?
When your husband left, you still, man, what he said goes, right?
I do that, though.
What he said went, even if he wasn't there. He was at work working, and he told everybody not to do something, and you was the wife. You said it's not going to get done because your dad said not to do it.
And I do that. I've never stepped on your toes.
There's been plenty of times where things has been touched, and I say, and she knows that not supposed to be touched.
My son said one time.
But you know they say.
Hey! My husband told my son to do something one time, and he says, and I don't care what your mother said, I'm coming home tonight. Boom. One sentence. It ain't that hard. You just got to be willing. And you're not. Let's talk about finances.
I pay the rent, I pay the lights, the gas, the water, trash, food.
You know what the light bill is. You know what the rent is. You know how many kids are in the house. Why should she have to ask?
You should just be general. Here, babe, this should go towards it.
Ms. Upchurch.
I'm sorry.
Ms. Upchurch, you say not only is he physically absent, but he's also financially absent. Why don't you tell me why you say that?
Because I carry all the burden. Like, he got paid $500. First of all, he didn't even tell me he got the check. He said he did, but I missed that whole thought process he had got it. I just was $150 short. Called him. He said, oh, I got that. He brought it to me, complained about it, so I threw him $30 more back. You know what I'm saying? But then, like, it's like he don't even think in his head, this man works both work 7 days a week. You're telling me you can't bring $25, $30 home? If you make daily money, you should bring something home daily to us because I pay all the bills. All the other money that was supposed to come through ain't came through, so I've been fitting it, broke. I work 2 jobs now since he left the house to take care of me and kids that are not even mine. And mines. And it's not fair for him to party, buy shoes, buy clothes, drink, and have fun, fix his car where then he complain about the cars and complain about this, but that's the only responsibility I actually put on him. I figure if I pay the rent, I pay the lights, the gas, the water, trash, food, all that. I stop cooking, I stop cleaning, I stop doing all of that. You don't want to do nothing, I ain't got to do my job either. It's not fair.
Mr. Upchurch, your response to that?
I always give whatever I can.
Whatever I can. Can your children eat whatever you can?
When they ask me for food, I mean, she asked me to buy my kids something to eat, I go and get them something to eat.
Don't you feel an obligation to be a substantial breadwinner and contributor to the household in which you have children? You don't feel obligated like that?
I do. That's why.
But you don't do
it's
it.
Not like, well, if
I don't ask, it don't help. It's like
that's what
he
I'm
don't.
saying.
Yeah.
But-
Now if she don't ask,
Why
it
does
don't
she
help.
have
But
to ask?
it don't help.
Why should she have to ask? You know what the light bill is. You know what the rent is. You know how many kids are in the house. Why should she have to ask?
You should just be general. Here, babe, this should go towards it.
Ms. Upchurch,
I'm sorry.
I see a little bit of why he ain't home. So
know,
just
right. But
not that he's right, but I can see it a little bit. We have Queen Walker here. This is your daughter, and I want you to come forward, please. What do you see Mr. Upchurch's contribution to the home being?
He not there.
He's not there?
No. And I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for all 12 of us, because we grew up like that. It ain't no, I'm my mama's child. No, that's my father.
Right.
So when you got an 8-year-old sister and a 4- and 5-year-old sister coming to you like, I don't even got no parents. My daddy not home.
Mr. Upchurch, did you hear what she just said?
Mm-hmm.
Does that bother you at all?
Well, I'm trying to get a business, my things together to be successful and to take care of my family. I mean, it's not like, you know, I don't have plans. I'm not putting no kind of nothing in process.
Part of though.
Listen. Let me tell you something. You're talking that nonsense to the wrong woman. My father was very successful, but his behind was always home. At the end of the day, he might go early, come back late, but he was concerned about his wife and his children, and all of his money came to the house. All of his money came to us. All of his money was about what we needed and what we wanted, and his duties and his provisions. It was all about us. We didn't have to wonder, where's Daddy? We didn't have to wonder, does Daddy love us? There was no issue. So what I'm asking you is, how can you feel at all like a man of value when you are letting your family down in so many different ways?
Well, I be pulled a lot of different ways. I mean, like, I got a lot of kids. I try.
But they're all at our house. They're not at the other house.
You ain't living with any of your kids, are you?
Right. She don't got no kids. She ain't even part of the
You
problem.
living with somebody who has no kids.
Man.
She got kids.
Wow. Okay.
She got kids. They're not kids.
There's something that's really bothering Queen, and she wants to talk about it. So the next thing I'm going to do is allow Queen to express herself.
He always not coming on time. It's always, I don't want to do this with y'all. Walk off, leave.
You're not an involved father. How would you feel if your spouse was never around to help take care of your children? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court. Today's question sponsored by Divorce Court. Will be right back. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms, and for exclusive content, go to Apple TV. Queen, I understand you have some things on your heart that you would like to share with him.
Okay, so the first one, like, why do you be a father to other people's kids more than your own?
Who fathering? Who am I fathering, though? Don't nobody.
Okay, so for instance, my little sister
their kids don't
go
ask
to
me for
school.
nothing.
So for instance, one of my sisters, they went to school. So him and another one of his girls and their kids went out, had a little outing. They took pictures, they had fun, they did all of that. Every event we have, he always late. He always not coming on time. It's always, I don't want to do this with y'all. Walk off, leave.
Because you got a disrespectful little and y'all keep
But he
on
not
dealing
always
with him.
there.
Oh, okay.
But he not always there.
You're not an involved father, being a defender and a protector.
It's like the peoples they choose to bring around me are the peoples that are not for us. So
I understand
it's like,
that, but you're
why
in
do you
shoes
put
they
me in
partners,
this
though.
situation?
Because
if
you
that's the case,
didn't
go out and do what
raise
y'all gonna
them
do,
right.
what y'all want to do.
You didn't raise
And then call
them.
me when it's just me, you and my family, you and my kids.
Yeah,
Don't
okay.
call me when you got everybody and they crap going on. Call me when you out with our kids, not with our kids.
I got you.
Crap.
You know, you don't.
we did that though.
Hey, please have a seat, Queen. We're gonna move forward. I'm gonna say what I got to say, and then I'm gonna leave it alone. Today's question sponsored by. What would you do if your spouse started staying out all night and not coming home? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Life is not fair.
Sure, right?
It's not.
Lots of time it ain't no fun. But the only thing you can control is what you can control, and you can control yourself. If what you want is him, what you need to do is get people who don't belong in the house out of the house. Now, I personally wouldn't be bothered because he's demonstrated to me that he's not committed. And part of the reason that your house is in chaos is he didn't do his dad thing when he was supposed to back in the day. I brought a dude in my house, my father, they'd still be looking for my body parts. You know, but that was the father's gig.
I said
the fact that you had to, but back from the day, from baby on, you have to be there constant and steady and on it. And he didn't do that. So he reaped some of this. But I'm saying if you want him back, which I wouldn't, but if you want him back, you gotta solve that. You have to be the author of your own story.
True, and I have to give up, and it's okay.
And you have to shut up, too.
I know, right?
She won't do that.
I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to give you information that'll give you what you want, even if I don't think it's rational. But you can't hear. You can't listen. I know you're under a lot of stress. I know a lot is going on in your house, and you're upset and you're angry, but you can't learn. You can't change. And until you can learn and change, your circumstances won't change. You'll just be loud in the same mess that you're already in. You can't engage in the joyous process of creating children and not stick around to care for the children you create. This is what happens to you when you do bare minimum. This is what happens to you when you have a whole lot of kids and no structure and no capacity and no interest in making them their primary social life. This is what happens. And you have to own it. You have to deal with it. If I were you, I don't know, there was this song about, if you don't love me, let me go. Let her go.
I ain't never gonna tell nobody I don't love my wife. I love my wife.
No. But if you're not going to treat her right, if you're going to just cause her pain and heartache and running off with other women and throwing a couple dollars here and there, that's so hurtful to her soul. It makes her feel like nothing. It makes her feel like she's not valuable. It makes you feel she's under pressure. She's under stress. She can't move forward. She can't find joy because she's still begging you to be just some kind of husband and a father, and that's terrible. You need to be man enough to say, hey, this is what I can. If I'm going to be your husband, I'm gonna be your husband. Or if I can't be your husband, I'm gonna be man enough to walk off. And that's what I'm gonna ask you to do. This matter is adjourned.
So he didn't really take much responsibility back there. Is it time to just move on and give up?
I wish my best.
Do you think Judge Lynn got through to him?
Nope, but she didn't to me.
And what are you gonna walk away with today then?
I need to shut up.
So, anything you want to say that
Nah, I mean,
you get a chance to?
Women gonna say what they want to say, so especially mine. She talk too much, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
Today on Divorce Court.
I came to Divorce Court today because I want to get married and my boyfriend does not.
When we started dating, she had already been married twice by then. I don't want to be strike number 3. I want to get it right the first time. I've never been married.
I want the judge to help him understand that I am a very qualified future wife.
I want the judge to tell Wiz to don't rush this man and let him take his time and see if it's going to work out.
If I don't get married in the next 2 years, then I'm going to move on with my life.
Wiz, I want you to know that I'm not going to rush into anything. And if we are going to get married, then I'm going to take my time and do it right.
Divorce court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Wisda Robinson and James Williams. The two of you have been together for 18 months. This is a before the vows, and if Mr. Williams has his way, way before the vows. Ms. Robinson wants him to put a ring on it already. Mr. Williams, you have your reservations, so you've come here for my opinion. Ms. Robinson, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me why we're here?
Well, Judge Toler, we are here today because I would like to get married. I believe that I am a good catch. I mean, as you can see, I'm cute. And also,
You just said it.
and also, I feel like I am a boss as well as a queen. And queens don't marry peasants; they marry kings. And Mr. James, I believe he's a king. So therefore, I would like for us to look towards the future, but he does not believe in marriage. And
At all?
He does not believe in marriage at all.
That's not.
Let's ask him. Mr. Williams, do you not believe in marriage at all, or?
I just feel like marriages are not as successful as they should be or have been in years past. I just don't want to be another statistic.
Right. Okay.
And
That's some people's marriage,
yeah,
though.
and you would know about that because you've been married twice already.
Oh, we're going there already.
That's a legitimate concern. You've already been married twice. You're only 31. That would give anybody pause.
Well,
Especially
Judge, can I?
Go ahead, Ms.
May
Robinson.
I?
Go ahead.
Okay. I was young. I was 19 when I first got married.
Okay.
So therefore, we make mistakes when we're younger.
Right.
Right. And then I was in my 20s still with my second marriage. I am now 31. I am more mature. I have made better decisions since then. I am about to finish my bachelor's degree. I am moving forward.
Right.
See, this one likes to stay in the past, and he's gonna always slap the past in your face.
Well, what about your past does he keep bringing up? It's just that you've been married twice before?
He brings up the fact that I've been married twice before and that I am not consistent. Is that the word you use, Mr. James?
She's not very consistent.
Explain to me what you mean by that.
I've known Wisda for over 10 years now.
Okay.
We've been in a relationship about 18 months.
Right.
We've had periods. We've always had chemistry. We've always liked each other, but we've never really followed through with it until recently.
Gotcha.
Now, she's always reached out to me. When I was in a relationship, she reached out to me, but I wouldn't go there because I was...
Because you a good
But
dude.
you could have
Hey,
been there.
that's wonderful.
She's had, dust-ups with individuals she was in relationships with and reached out to me. And I was like, I don't think we should do nothing because, lo and behold, they got back with each other and, hit the pause button. So I'm like, I was right.
Are you trying to have break relationships? Do you know what I mean?
See, here's the thing. He has always been that one that I've always wanted. We've always been strongly attracted to one another. Even when we were in college, we were both debaters. But we was always at each other's neck, but it was always strong chemistry there. Even our friends around us was like, y'all belong together. She the only one can handle you, and you the only one can handle her. And I need somebody with a backbone. Because I'm a bulldozer. You feel me?
Yeah, and I got a backbone. That's why you ain't finna push me off.
So let me get something clear. And I understand what you're saying about marriage, but are you open to the idea of it sometime in the future?
I'm not opposed to marriage.
Okay.
I'm just not gonna rush into it.
There you go.
You can't, put a time frame on something, in my opinion, and rush me into it because
4 years?
I'm cautious.
1, 2, 3, 4? Like the number after 3?
This coming from a woman that got married after meeting somebody for what, 2-3 months?
I can't help it. I'm a good catch.
Ms. Robinson, let me ask you this. Are you ring hungry? There's some women, no, some women out there are ring hungry. They feel like that's always the prize. So they always have a reason why this next guy is the right guy. And that's why they get married a lot. Are you ring hungry?
That's not it. Judge, from day one, I told this man that we belong together. I told him that when I was 20. I was not ready then, but I always felt that and knew that we would be a power couple once we came together.
Okay.
And I am
You're
not ready
talking a
now.
lot of superlatives, and it worries me a little bit, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But are you worried? She just seemed kind of controlling and pushy.
She is.
Nothing wrong with it. I'm a pushy chick myself.
I know what I want.
But
Yeah, she used to having her way. You know, she's
So what
spoiled.
are your other reservations about marrying her?
Well, other than the fact that marriages aren't very successful, you know, I'm currently trying to get on my feet, you know, from a financial, perspective. I got student loans I'm paying. You know, I got a child that I'm paying support for. He's 14. You know, I don't want to, bring debt into a relationship, so to speak. She also...
Honey, relationship ain't nothing but debt.
I feel like
you
a
might
marriage
come
is
in
even
clean,
more.
but you don't go out that way. Get a little dirty. But anyway,
You know,
go ahead.
And she friendly too now. She can be flirtatious. So I don't like that.
Can I object?
No, you cannot.
Also, I feel like if I'm gonna do it, I've never been married. If I'm gonna do it, I want to do it right the first time.
Gotcha. I got you, which makes all the sense in the world. I also understand that you have some significant religious differences, and then I also want to get your mother's opinion. So we'll talk about that next.
She's really into the book, and I'll compromise. So I'm not opposed to, going to church once or twice a year with her, But, I don't
That's it.
Yeah, I don't want to live there.
Mr. Williams, I'm going to start with you. You have religious differences with her. Why don't you explain the nature of them?
She thinks I'm an atheist, but I'm not an atheist.
Okay.
I'm more of a deist. I feel like God is more of a watchmaker than anything. I feel like once he gives you life, he has a hands-off approach.
Right.
Like, I feel like he's not just playing chess and just moving pieces around and pushing you in the right direction. I think you actually have to make things happen.
Right.
She's really into the book, and I'll compromise. So I'm not opposed to, going to church once or twice a year with her, But, I don't want
That's it.
Yeah, I don't want to live there.
Ms. Robinson, are you deeply faithful, and do you find his hands-off approach to religion a problem?
Your Honor, I found it a big problem because I guess you could say I'm religious. I do love the Lord. I do. And I didn't know that apparently I was getting involved with the atheists. I mean, you mentioned Jesus and he sizzles.
I just said I'm not an atheist.
It bothers me that
Give me an example when that flares up in your life.
I recently purchased a few acres of land. That's huge for 31, okay? So I'm thinking, Jesus, because I know he set that up. Because how many 31-year-olds you know own land? None.
Did Jesus buy the property?
So,
Well, I did,
Can I
but
finish?
that's okay.
But you a boss like me. See, that's great minds think alike. Okay, so to me, I felt like God blessed me with that. So I thank Jesus for it. Guess what he says? This is what Albert Einstein has to say. Apparently, that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with God. It's research. You did your research, and that's how you found out about the land, and you looked it up and everything like that. So it doesn't have to have anything to do with God. Can I thank Jesus?
Well, Jesus didn't Google the website that she found the land on.
Yeah, no, I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying. I'm gonna ask Ms. Jordan to come up and join us, please. And you move over just a little bit so you can mother can. How you doing? Now, Ms. Jordan, you've been married 4 times, correct?
Correct.
Now, it looks like your daughter's following in your footsteps a little bit. Can you tell me if you have any concerns about the way your daughter is approaching marriage and or this gentleman right here specifically?
Okay. First of all, I love him. He's an awesome guy, and I feel like they're very compatible. And Wiz does not want to follow in my footsteps. I mean, things happen, life happens.
Right.
And see, I feel like this too, if he knew the reasoning why I've been married. See, he's never sat down to ask me.
Well, let me ask you, how come you were married 4 times?
Okay.
Then don't explain each one. We ain't got that kind of time.
I'm gonna make it quick. I promise you, I'll make it quick. Their father, which I have a son in the audience also, their father, we were married 16 years, okay? And then the second marriage, they couldn't deal with my success. And I believe God has blessed me to be at the place that I am. I'm an accountant. I run my own business. I have employees, And then the third marriage, he thought he was cuter than I was, and I just couldn't deal with it.
That's a problem. And the fourth one?
The fourth one, I'm still with at present.
Oh, okay. So you in the fourth marriage?
I'm in the fourth.
Making it work?
Yes.
Making it work?
Yes.
So the next thing I'm going to do, now that we got your pedigree down, and I can see you're an intelligent, thoughtful woman, I want to get your opinion on this union that we have in front of us now. Are you two living together now?
Basically, we are living together. He still has his apartment, but he stays at my house. I could
never do wife duties at girlfriend prices. Would you marry someone who's already been married and divorced twice before? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court.
Okay, Judge Lynn, we have another viewer's question for your judgment call. My fiance and my mom can't stand each other. My mom was a hard-working single mother who sacrificed so much to raise and educate me. I don't mind her visits and advice, but my fiance says she needs to stay out of our business. How can I get the two women I love to love one another?
You need to tell your boyfriend that he needs to sit down and have a talk with his mother. He's grown up, he's getting his own life. Mom needs to step back a little bit, and it's his job to tell her. Today's question sponsored by Divorce Court. Will be right back. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms, and for exclusive content, go to Apple TV. Now, Miss Jordan, I know you like him because your daughter has already said that. Do you have any concerns about their religious differences or the amount of time that he wants to wait?
I do. You know, it's like the saying people say, you know, why buy the cow if you're already getting the milk? And some.
Are you two living together now?
Basically, we are living together. He still has his apartment, but he stays at my house
most of the time.
Wash clothes. I could
never do wife duties at girlfriend prices. I don't care what you do. I do not believe in that. I mean, you know, if he gonna spend the night, whatever. But I don't watch nothing that belong to him. None of that.
Thank you.
But Judge, I am there because she wants me there. Because I go home.
I get that. I'm just talking to her. Got nothing to do with you. It's my general advice to women in general. Don't do wife duties on girlfriend prices.
Because it becomes this common law permanent marriage.
Exactly.
That they keep trying to make legitimate in society today.
Oh, who are you talking to? I'm on Divorce Court. I see it every day. I see it every day.
I don't agree with it. I don't.
Okay. All right. Ms. Jordan, thank you so much. I appreciate your input. You may go right ahead and have a seat. So what would get you across the altar, Mr. Williams? Just time?
Time. I have to feel comfortable with the situation. You know, like, I have my reservations, so, you know, I think if you're going to be considerate and know that it's not just you in the relationship and actually another person in it too, then they should have some type of say in it. I'm willing to compromise. I just ain't going to be rushed into nothing.
You're finna be 40.
And what does that mean?
I mean, how much time do you need?
Well, what is your time frame, Ms. Robinson? What
got 2 years.
He's got 2 years.
I don't respond with an ultimatum, so if that's what it is. That's what it is.
That's what it is. You know, I had a friend in college once who said to me, I can't believe all of the great women I walked by in college to get out here and find women that aren't nearly as great.
Wow.
He said that to me once.
Christ.
You know what I mean? Not, we weren't romantically inclined, I was married, but it was like, when you find the right one, don't fool around and lose her. Fool around waiting.
She specifically said earlier that she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. Well, I'm not ready now.
Right, no, I'm not. Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm just putting that thought out into the cosmos for
I
you.
don't plan on losing her, but I'm not going to be.
I'm going to rush. I don't think you should be rushed. I think she's a little ring hungry myself. And I think that is not, that should not be a goal. You know, get married, because it's like I'm a success if I get married and I'm not a success if I don't. My sister never got married. You know what I mean? She's a physician. She goes all over the world. She does whatever her wants. She had to put nobody through college. None of that. She's a happy camper. What?
But Your Honor, I want to get married. It's not a need.
You're on your third marriage at 31. There's something about that ring that blinds you. And you just got to make sure you're walking down the aisle with your eyes wide open. And I'm going to tell you what you need to be looking for when you do. Today's question sponsored by... What wifely benefit would you refuse to offer without a commitment to marriage? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. I like all three of you. I'd invite you over to my house for a party.
Hello.
But I'm going to talk to you like I was her.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't make it easy for him not to want to make the move. And if you're doing all this wifey stuff, it makes it easy for him not to want to make the move. I never made a meal for my husband till after we were wed. And then he found out I couldn't cook.
Well, he found out
but don't do it. Number two, don't chase a ring. Chase your future. If he's the right guy, once you get to the future you're supposed to be, he'll be right behind you. Because that's how you're supposed to look at it. Mr. Williams, I like that you're not rushing. I like that, you're taking into consideration the fact you already have a child, the financial responsibilities and obligations that you have to that child, and how it'll impact your next marriage. I mean, you are looking good over there, Mr. Williams. And I like the fact that you are thoughtful and that you are steady and that you will not be rushed. But what I'm saying to you is don't miss out being scared of the statistics. Because the statistics don't mean anything. It's you and her. Because my marriage ain't nothing like another marriage, ain't nothing like another marriage. And it only takes one right one. Okay? So don't be scared. Don't be in a hurry.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep that fourth one. This matter is adjourned.
So Judge Lynn told you, no more wifely duties at girlfriend prices. What's your reaction to that?
He will be doing his own laundry from now on, and I will not be the help anymore. And that includes sex.
No more sex. You ready to buy the ring now?
Nah, I'll wait.
today on Divorce Court?
I'm here on Divorce Court today because my husband Michael is a liar and a cheater, and I needed to stop now.
I do admit to cheating on my wife in the past, but that's when I was young, and that's not me anymore.
He is fascinated with prostitutes.
I do have a fascination with prostitutes. It's just one of my upbringings.
He thinks he's a pimp. How are you a pimp and you're not getting money and you're sleeping with them? They're your girlfriends.
I think Danielle is paranoid because something's wrong with her psychologically.
I want the judge to tell Michael to grow up and stop the lies.
Divorce Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Danielle Grant and Michael Grant. You have been married for a brief 7 months, and you're here already. Nick, do you want to know what their primary problem is?
What's that, Judge?
He's a wannabe pimp. And the wife don't like it. Mrs. Gant, why don't you tell me what's going on at your house?
My husband Michael is a liar, a cheater, and the worst part of it all is he has a fascination with prostitutes.
Your Honor, could I say something?
In a minute, go ahead. Tell me about the fascination with prostitutes, because I'm fascinated by that fascination.
Yeah, he's had homeless ones. He's had homeless ones. He finds them on the streets. The last one he just had very, very recently, I found out because we were having a birthday party for one of my kids, and he said, "Hey, I gotta go real quick. I gotta go pick up this girl's kid."
Hold on.
So I'm like, "Whose kids?" So he calls a car to come get him.
Right.
I ask him where he's going. He doesn't say anything. He just gets in the car, goes. So I hurry up, get my shoes on, get the keys, get in the car, go follow him. I'm following him down Las Vegas Boulevard. He keeps going and going. Finally, he stops. Okay, so I'm like, he's stopping. I see a car coming. He's running to the car. So I'm honking the horn. Stop. The girl got the window up. She won't put the window down. Finally, she pulls the window down, and so I'm asking her what's going on. She says, "I know my place," and they drive off. So I go to his house. Her kids are there. So now I realize he helped taking care of a prostitute's kids.
Oh, come on.
Didn't he get her pregnant? About probably like
to knock it off.
2 weeks after that happened, she's pregnant. By him. Prostitute. Pregnant.
2 weeks.
By him.
Mr. Gant.
I object, Your Honor.
Stop. Tell me your side of that story.
Okay, first of all, I'm a big fan of yours.
Well, I'm glad about that, but I'm no prostitute, though.
That's right. I don't use that word prostitute. I say escort or women of the night. That's what I like to use. But first of all, I love Danielle.
Right.
That's my girl. First of all, I come from a family full of pimps. My granddaddy was a pimp, my uncle was a pimp, so it's been pimping since been pimping. I've been doing it for a long time.
Oh, Lord.
She's just an assistant pimp. This is one of my road dogs. She know how I've been getting down. She know what I do.
Well, what are you doing with these women? I mean, are you making money off of them?
We making money. We trying to make as much money as possible.
To buy what?
You wasn't tripping when I came through with a little money to pay the rent.
Mr. Gant, let me ask you this. Don't you find that a distasteful profession to make money off of the work of women while you just sitting there with your hand out?
First of all, I ain't never seen her act like this before. She totally cool.
No, you the one that claim you got pimp in your DNA. So I want to know,
talk about that,
does that bother you at all that that's how you make money?
Come on with it, because you got a lot to say.
You know what? It does. It is untasteful. I mean, it is untasteful. You know what I mean? I'm a hustler. But at the same time, she wasn't sweating me when the money was coming through. You know, see, that's the thing she don't tell y'all. What? I gave you... What?
So you're not only a pimp, you're just an unsuccessful pimp.
Man,
I'm trying to figure out what you do for a living.
Okay, this is what I do. First of all, I don't just do that. I do a lot of other things around the house. I help, I clean up. You know what I'm saying? I make sure everything is copacetic. She just talking about one thing. Just one bad thing. I got a lot of good qualities.
That's a big bad thing. Did you get the other woman pregnant?
Who?
The one she was just talking about, the one she chased you in a car.
When? You know what?
You paying attention, Mr. Gant.
You know what? I'm gonna own up to that. I'm not sure if I got her pregnant because it could have been a lot of other people, but I'm gonna tell you this. I did get her pregnant. I think I did. I
think you did.
Listen, I wasn't absolutely sure at the time, but you know, women be lying too. You gotta be careful, because they'll lie to you. She might have got me for $500. I ain't seen the girl since. So I don't know what's going on.
I don't either.
Pimpin' might have got pimped.
Oh, okay. well, yeah. You say that she ought to trust you, despite the fact that you got pimp in your DNA. How is she distrustful, and what do you think she ought to change?
One time, me and my boys, we was going out, you know what I'm saying? We was dealing with some prostitutes at the time. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with it. But I thought I seen a silhouette of her head in my car. So I'm driving, I'm like, damn, I mean, do you see a head in my car? So me and the homie, we tripping, going back and forth. So I get up, we get to the girl's house. You know, 2 or 3 of them called me, knocking on the door like, hey, somebody's hopping out your car. So I'm scared as hell. So I run outside, and it's her, and she ain't got no shoes on.
So she was hiding in the back of your car when you were in the car?
She popped out the car like a mercenary. You know what I'm saying? She was in the trunk, right, with the jack in the spare tire. You know what I mean?
You were in the trunk of the car.
It's SUV, so the third row, you know, it's open.
She in the trunk.
I got you. Yeah, I ain't going to the closed one because I'm claustrophobic. That wouldn't have worked out. But yeah, I went into the
So she hopped out the trunk like a serial killer. Then she started chasing me down the street. I didn't know what to do but start taking off running. So she chased me for about 15 minutes. And after that, you know, it got real weird for a minute. We sat down for about 4 hours to talk about a relationship. But this is something we do on a daily basis.
I don't hide in the trunk. I need to catch my breath. I need to catch my breath, but I got caught up in the story. But before that story, you said, yeah, I think I got this prostitute pregnant. Damn. That means you're having unprotected sex
First of all,
with women that you think are out and about making money doing that.
Why you gotta bring that back up? And second of all, I wasn't having...
Let's talk about the unprotected sex with the prostitute.
Okay, no. I gotta catch my breath. Or recollect myself, and then we're gonna move forward.
He is cheating with his best friend's sister, right? Yes, honey.
Come on, man.
He was cheating with his best friend's sister, got her pregnant twice.
Got her pregnant twice?
Oh, Lord.
Despite your admissions, Mr. Gant, you say your wife is paranoid and irrational. Could you tell me a couple of stories that would lead me to believe that is, in fact, the case?
Okay, Your Honor. It's a lot of paranormal activity going on with her. Paranormal, right? I mean, she's scary as hell.
Not what I said, but go ahead.
She started scare pimping. You know what I mean? I ain't never been scared in my life.
Give me some stories. What has she done?
Okay. One night, I was talking on the phone with a prostitute. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie about it, but it was about business. See, that's what she's not telling you. Everything is not, a lot of it's platonic. So I hear some footsteps, you know, walking down the stair, but I didn't hear none for about 45 minutes. So I'm like, damn, I wonder if baby up or what's going on. So I walk out my son's room and I walk into the living room and you know how you can just feel the presence of paranormal activity going on. So I'm talking to the girl and I say, and I just feel some presence, like a energy on my back. So I turn around and I see a silhouette of her, looking like The Grudge.
Looking like The Grudge?
The Grudge, the movie. Scared the out of me.
You know The Grudge?
I haven't seen that.
You ain't seen The Grudge? No. Y'all gotta see that movie, man. Y'all go check that out. But I flick the light on and it's her with a silhouette, just standing there looking like, you know, the Exorcist. You know what I mean?
Now, Ms. Gant, let me ask you. I understand you hacked his phone and catfished, apparently, one of his ladies. Well, tell me what happened.
Well, I had to. Because, okay, so the smart guy right here, this smart guy, he get fired from his job, right? So he said, oh, baby, they fired me. They said I was on the phone all day. So I started thinking to myself, We ain't really talked on the phone. How you get
Who you talking to?
Who is you talking?
Stop.
Shut up. Thank you.
I got it, Mrs. Gant. I got it. Go ahead.
Okay, so I tell my son, give me the code to Dad's phone. So he gave me the code. I open it up. Oh, it's a full thread. It's a thread. That thread going from the top to the bottom to back to a whole nother page, another page, another page. Anyway, it's I love you, all this stuff. Come to find out, he is cheating with his best friend's sister, right? Yes, honey.
Come on, man.
He was cheating with his best friend's sister, got her pregnant twice.
Got her pregnant twice?
Got her pregnant twice.
Here, man.
Then on my birthday, he invites me to go to the club.
Outta here.
Don't tell me that the wench is at the club before I get there. Oh, Lord. I get out the club, go to my car, and my whole...
She ain't disrespectful.
Stop. My whole car. I'm talking about the hood, the doors, key, scribbles, key. I'm like, what the... This ain't my car. This can't be my car, right? This is what I'm thinking. He give me the phone number to call her. She say, I wouldn't do that. I would never do something like that to somebody's property. I put that on my kids. No, better yet, I put that on your kids. And that's when I told him, take me to her, but he wouldn't.
Your Honor,
Mr. Gant, what is your explanation for that?
You know what? I'm gonna say this. We don't got full proof because nobody seen the security cameras. That could have been somebody she was messing with. I don't know what's going on.
First of all, I don't get down like that.
Stop.
Can I talk? And then second of all, I ain't got a lot to say on that one because I was messing with my friend's sister, but she my best friend's sister too. That's another.
We are in so much trouble here. You say, Mr. Gant, that she's got a bad attitude and talks too much. We'll talk about that now.
Yeah.
So you working on planes?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm already afraid to fly. Now let's get this news. What would you do if your partner was obsessed with prostitutes? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court. Today's question sponsored by Divorce Court. Will be right back. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms, and for exclusive content, go to Apple TV. Tell me about the vegetables. I figure that's a safe topic, vegetables.
Okay, basically, she told me to go get some vegetables from the store.
Right.
She ain't tell me what type of specific vegetables I was supposed to be getting or nothing. I asked her 5 times. I said, baby, what kind of vegetables do you want? And that's how she is. She's indecisive. So I go to the store. I go get a whole bunch of potatoes because we got like 19 people living in our house. So I go get a whole bunch of potatoes. I come back. She come outside, I hand her potatoes outside the window, hand her the pack of potatoes, and she gonna tell me in front of my kids, damn, daddy's an idiot.
Ms. Gant, how come do you have 19 people living at your house?
Okay, it's like
she's a person hoarder.
A
she
person
hoards
hoarder.
people, yeah.
Do you hoard like family members or
she's the
just random folks?
Because I feel bad for people that need my family that need somewhere to stay.
So you just bring them on over to your house?
Can I say something, Your Honor? But she giving me these...
How many people living there now?
There is 11.
1,200.
11 people living at your house. Are you feeding all those people?
Yes.
Your Honor, can I
Are they working?
Working on eating. Can I say one thing, Your Honor?
Yes, Mr. Gant, what would you like to say?
She gives me, look, it's 12 people. When we first got together, I was getting fat king plates. Now she got me, I'm damn near getting Lunchable plates at dinner. My plate is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I mean, she giving me party plates.
Are you bringing in any money?
I've been bringing in money my whole life.
Oh,
I come from a family full of money. We got some money. She know I be contributing. I do a lot.
You do a lot?
I do a lot.
How much is a lot on a monthly basis?
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't count it. She keeps...
You don't count it?
I don't count it. I just give it. I just... Boom, boom, what you want, what you need, bam, bam, bam.
Now, you know that doesn't make any sense, right? You talking about you making it rain at your crib, but you don't have any money except for potatoes.
I got...
And you a pimp.
Well, at the
who
time,
gets his product pregnant. I mean, I'm just saying. You're not much of a businessman.
Well, you know what? I feel ganged up on it a little bit, but I'm gonna tell you something. Let me just tell you a little something about my story, about what I'm going through.
Please do.
Okay, she clingy as hell.
Tell me how she's clingy.
Okay. I was on a contract because I do aviation mechanics too. I'm an aviation mechanic. That's why I bring a lot of
if I had a job, I could pimp aviation mechanic.
But that was the old me. I don't
aviation
pimp no more.
mechanic. Aviation mechanic. That's beautiful.
I don't pimp no more. I'm pimping airplanes now.
You say he doesn't pull his weight around the house. Does he or doesn't he? Is he bringing home a check or isn't he?
He did not before that because he wanted to be a pimp, but he didn't make no money, like I said. But I'm not gonna lie, he did just get the aviation job, his contract, so it lasted like a couple of months, and he did help within that time period.
So you working on planes?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm already afraid to fly. Now let's get this news. What are you doing with the planes?
I ain't doing nothing but doing composite work and nothing safety-wise.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. What is the one thing I could do for you from her for you to say this marriage is going to work out?
Just one?
Just one.
Okay,
Well, you think about it, and then I'll ask her, and we'll try to work something out. Today's question sponsored by... What would you do if you were worried your partner couldn't stop cheating? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Usually when anybody comes in here talking about being a pimp, I call them a parasitic bottom feeder. But I'm not going to do it here because I don't think you really were one. I think you just playing out there, love to talk about it, and it was funny. So I don't believe that that's what you were doing. I think you're running around on her. I think you're running around and having babies, not paying attention, and all that kind of stuff. You need to cut that out. Too old for that. Seriously, I want y'all to stay together. Okay. I don't want neither one of you loose in the community. Okay. So if I can keep you together, I've done my part for America. So tell me what it is I can get her to do for you.
Stop drinking.
Stop drinking?
Stop drinking.
We didn't even get to the alcohol.
We didn't get to that. Hennessy is not her enemy. It's a friend of her.
Mrs. Gant, if there's one thing I could get from Mr. Gant to give to you to keep this union together, what would it be?
I'll say stop with the prostitutes. I'm sick and I'm tired. Lord of the prostitutes.
Escorts.
I just went through his phone. He was just talking to Simone. Talking about, baby, you know I gotta get another one. What, you gotta get another one pregnant? What, you gotta sleep with another one? What you gotta do? You might as well pay for them. Because you're just like the tricks on the streets looking for them.
You damn.
I'm sorry.
I know you a lie.
Anyway.
You know you wrong for that.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah.
That hurt me.
I enjoyed talking to you. It was an interesting day. I don't know what y'all gonna do. But I'm leaving. This matter is adjourned.
Are you ready to give up the ladies of the night?
You know what? I think I'm gonna hang my jersey up, bro.
Retiring?
I'm gonna retire.
I mean, that seems to be your biggest complaint. You believe him when he says that?
Unless the game needs me.
And
I'll be back.
Can you shut up? It's hard to say whether I believe him because he keeps doing it. So we'll see.
Well, you gotta believe. She gotta believe.
Tell her
you gotta believe.
I gotta believe, but actions speak louder than words.
Hey, words speak louder than actions. If you.
Okay, all right.
Today on Divorce Court.
I'm at Divorce Court today because I'm just sick and tired of having trust issues, commitment issues, financial issues.
Everything I do is wrong. She's saying I'm cheating on her.
I am going into my 7th official year engaged. Basically, I'm just here to find answers if I need to stay or do I need to go.
Ms. Peace, I need you to get yourself together because if you really want to get married, you will change.
I feel horrible about, being engaged for so long. All women want to get married. All women want to feel like they're being committed to and loved. And I don't think it's fair the way you're going with it.
Divorce court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Mapista Miller and Gary Brown. The two of you have been together for 13 years. You have 2 children together. You've been engaged for 5 years, but you can't get him to put a ring on it already. So, Mrs. Miller, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why you've brought Mr. Brown here?
Well, me and Gary have been together for about 13 years. Basically, we have trust issues. I could go through story upon story with,
Well, start taking them down.
Okay, well, I one day caught him in the house in a compromising position, and then he states, well, the person was just there buying a cigarette.
When you say compromising position, what are we talking about? Everybody had their clothes on?
Well, they did, but they were in the dark in my kitchen. And when I walked up, I kind of walked up silently, turned the door, came in, and then he was standing with his back to me, and she was at the door. And they were in the dark.
All right, go ahead. Number 2.
Another time we're riding in the car, and something said, get his phone, because he has me blocked on social media, so I can't even see what he's doing. He was asleep, so I grabbed it, and then when I was in there, I was like, okay, go to inbox real quick. And then I saw where he was inboxing this one girl, and it said, oh, I remember how things were, we're talking about their sexual relationship. Oh, it was good. We'd have 5 or 6 kids by now, and, I miss you. And then there was another girl. Oh, can you feed me? Then,
Okay, you feed me.
Like, he was asking for dinner. Like, can you cook for me?
Uh-huh.
And it's just X upon X. I'm blocked on social media because he say I do too much. I'm always jumping on a post. Barely can even text him.
Because he got you so heavily blocked.
Right, exactly.
Mr. Brown, why don't you tell me about all of these suspicious circumstances that she's caught you doing?
Well, as far as the first incident, it was one of her friends that was coming by the house, so quite naturally, I thought that she knew that her friend was coming over there.
That's a lie.
I thought her friend was coming over there because, she was getting ready to get off work at that time. Right. So, she knocked on the door. So just being, I thought I was being courteous.
You're lying.
So I'm like...
Stop.
So I'm like, You
let her in.
I let her in. I was getting ready to say, well, you can wait till she gets home, because she'll be getting
She'll be home any minute now.
She'll be home in a minute now. Boom. Here she comes busting in the door like, I figure she set it up, you know what I'm saying? So she gets to raising like, why is she in here? What are y'all doing? I'm like, I thought this was your friend. I mean, if she's your friend, you should trust her at least, so
Right. Well, who asked you if they could feed you?
Well, that was I tried the social media thing with her, but when I did let her on my site, she went through old pictures and she wanted to start commenting on old pictures. So you know what I did? Block. I put the block on her. I just went ahead and put the block on her. Mm-hmm.
Well, why don't you tell me, what has she done that made you block her? I mean, has she been loud and proud with it?
No, it's just, like for instance, I can leave my phone on the dresser and go in the bathroom, everything is fine and dandy. But now if I take that phone in the bathroom, she come in there knocking on the door, she trying to find things. I'm like, I'm in the bathroom. Can I get this little bit of privacy?
Right?
Oh, no, you in there sending naked pictures to people and stuff. I'm like, I'm in the bathroom.
Do you think he's sending naked pictures to people when he's in the bathroom?
Not necessarily, but I do know that I could be sitting next to him, right? And I could just glance over, here he go. Grabbing the phone, like he turning it, like he don't want me to see it. So, of course, if you're in the bathroom where it's private at, you're going to use that to your full...
Do you really think he's cheating on you for real?
Honestly, no.
Have you ever caught him?
No.
Then why are you so insecure?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily think that I'm insecure. I think that
Mr. Brown, tell me some stories that would allow me to believe that Ms. Miller is insecure.
Let me tell you this now. I'm at work now. She know I can't be on my phone. She's calling me all day. I'm like, I can only talk to you on the break and lunchtime. One job site I was at, I wasn't picking up the phone, and here she come. She's at the front gate raising sand. Luckily, I knew the guy that worked at the front of the gate. He calls me and say, She's down here raising sand, talking about where you at, where you at. She's trying to come on the property. She ain't got no helmet. He said, you know, you gotta get down here before they call the police on her. I get down there. She's in a robe. Talking about some, why you ain't picking up the phone? You know how I am.
She's in a robe?
Yes. She's in her night clothes at the front gate.
Talking about why won't you pick up the phone?
Yes. And here's the kicker. Your associates called me from this... From
divorce court, from the show.
And they gave me a number to write down to call another associate.
Right.
So, not thinking nothing of it, I write it down, call them. Here she comes in the house. What's this? I'm like, oh, just a number, you know, the producers called, told me to call this such and such person. Oh, no. Oh, that's some old broad or voodoo. I'm like, get out of my face. You just whatever. Come to find out, she done called the number.
I did get a report
she done called
that you called one of my producers 3 times in a row to accuse her of messing with your man, and all we wanted to do was get you on the show.
Well, that is a form of truth.
Didn't believe me.
Not
I told
exactly.
her it's just a number. Oh, no, she didn't believe it.
No,
I
would have taken it different if he had gave me a different energy. Now, the energy he giving me is, you know, oh, that's a number from the producer. Not, I don't want to talk about it. Just leave it alone. That's not for you. That makes my mind spin. Why is it that you just can't make a straight line like with me? Where are you at? I'm at the light at 3 o'clock. I'm turning in 2 seconds. I'm going around. And it doesn't have to be that way.
Why does he have to report at a red light?
Well,
that's absurd.
Well, no, I'm saying what I would do. Give me that much is what I'm asking.
Want, but I don't
so you want, within 30 seconds, you want an immediate response no matter what he's doing to report exactly where he is and what he's doing and if anybody else is there. This is what you're telling me.
I mean, that would be nice, but I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that. That's what I'm saying.
Does he ask you to do that?
Not in so many words, but I've started playing his game. I'm at the nail shop getting my nails done, and you know it takes at least an hour or two if it's not full. What you doing at the nail shop? It's been 3 hours, but you asking me.
I'm just doing how she
am
does
I still at the nail shop?
Just doing her how she does
or
me.
am I still at the salon?
I got you. I see the nature of crazy we got going on here.
Right.
Next, I want to talk about, you say that Mr. Brown belittles you and talks down to you and talks about your educational level, and I want to talk about that next.
I tell her it's at a strip club. Oh, she goes off. Oh, you're going to see all these women. I'm like, it's a party. That's where they have it at. I come back, now she done destroyed my things.
Did you destroy his stuff because he went to a strip club? So, Ms. Miller, why don't you tell me what he says to you that you find so belittling?
Well, basically, we could have a regular conversation. And the first thing he does is yells. So then he uses his charm. Oh, well, you know, since you didn't graduate high school, you wouldn't know how to do such and such, or you wouldn't know how to react to the question that I'm asking you, or you wouldn't know how to be pretty much a person, a human being, the way he's putting me. But he fails to realize that I did complete school. I just didn't walk. I have more than enough credits that it took. I just went through a family bind where, you know, I wasn't able to walk.
You weren't able to walk, just the ceremony. Ceremonies don't need anything. Right. I didn't walk at law school. I just walked off. But
I know, right? Exactly.
I mean, I got my law degree, but I didn't want to put on no pomp and say I packed my stuff up and went. But do you belittle her? Do you talk to her about, you know, you don't have a high school diploma, all of that?
She be thinking I be trying to be smart, but, you know, I just be trying to help her out, guide her, you know, just give her a little advice or something. She always think, oh, because you graduated, you thinking all this and stuff, you know.
Graduated from high school? Or
yes, ma'am. I did a little college.
Little bit of college?
Yes, ma'am, but she always said I'm trying
to... Mrs. Miller, you say that you were a CNA, you're on the phone with a client, and he's yelling at you. Why don't you tell me what happened that day?
One day, I was on the phone with the client's daughter, and I was telling her that, you know, I'm only required to do certain things, and that if he needed his back washed, that, you know, I could come do it, but I can't do a certain level
of certain medical things.
Right.
Yeah,
and then he's in the back because I'm using 7th grade words. Oh, you think you a doctor. You not smart enough to tell them people that. And I'm like, shh, be quiet. This is my job. So it could be anything.
Did you holler while she was on the phone with a job?
You know, I just be treating her like she treat me. If I'm on the phone, I could be on the phone with my mom and she hear a female voice, oh, who that B is? I'm like, that's my mom. You didn't even get time. You didn't even ask me. You know, you're walking like that.
No.
Yes, it could be anybody. My friends come over.
That's not true.
We have to go outside. You know, sit outside.
By choice.
Then 5 minutes later, here she come peeking around the corner. My friend's like, oh, I was wondering when she was gonna come out
Right.
here. Yeah.
Right, because I'm
Or
offering
she's
them
peeking,
water
She might
or juice.
she might lift the window up so she can listen to it. Or now she's walking the dog all of a sudden. Dog just came out. Now she's walking the dog coming outside.
What happened when your friend had a party at the strip club?
Oh, I want to go out. She thinking every time we go out, it has to be us. It's like that. The fact that she don't have a real big social network, she needs to work on that really. Because it's like, I don't even know more than 2 of her friends, but she know all my friends. So they asked me to go out, hadn't seen them in a long time. She knew that. They like, you gonna be able to go because you know how she act? I'm like, no, I'm gonna tell her. I tell her it's at a strip club. Oh, she goes off. Oh, you're gonna see all these women. I'm like, it's a party. That's where they have it at. I come back, now she done destroyed my things.
Did you destroy his stuff because you went to a strip club?
I didn't even know you went to a strip club.
Well, why did you destroy his stuff?
Well, I didn't. No, I did
when
not.
I went to the club with my friend on his
didn't
birthday.
tell me that,
You didn't destroy his. You didn't put bleach on his clothes.
No.
And push his computer off at the desk.
He pushed my computer off the desk.
You know, just doing it like she does me.
No.
Have you ever bleached the man's clothes?
Yes,
I think I did, but it was years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time when we first started off.
It was
You know,
years
we
ago.
got into a little financial situation.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I'm going to go back to my mom's house.
Yeah, right.
You go your way.
So
you
I threw the
leaving me
bleach
out here
out
abandoning
the
it.
window,
Woo-de-woo. I'm like,
and it was on his stuff.
It's a rebuilding process, so, you know, rebuild.
So you have 2 children together, I understand.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been living together for at least the last 5 years?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
More.
My understanding is that you both disagree on how to parent and on your finances. And I want to go into both of those things as we move forward. You've been with her 13 years. How come you don't marry her?
Look the way she acting now. They say it gets worse when you get married.
When is it appropriate for your partner to show up at your place of employment? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court. Today's question sponsored by Divorce Court. Will be right back. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed a show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms, and for exclusive content, go to Apple TV. Ms. Miller, you say that because you put the kids on your income tax return, he feels like he shouldn't have to pay for anything for them. Is that accurate?
That's exactly true, because I filed them, you know...
But as dependents?
As my dependents on my tax return. You know, it could be light bill come up. You know, if I'm not steadily just paying all the bills by myself, and then one month I might say, ooh, I need help. You file the kids, you know, you need to take care of that. Don't ask me, you know, diapers, wipes, school. I might need a tire.
Do you not help out with the kids because she uses them as dependents on her tax form?
No. It's like the kids are mine all year until that time. Income tax time, oh, I'm filing them, you know. Right. So I'm like, why can't I get to file them? And I'm like, plus if I file, we get more money because I make more money. The money that she's gonna blow will be the extra money that I will get if
I filed as your dependents.
Right.
Let me ask you this, Mr.
Get...
Brown. Let me ask you this. You've been with her 13 years. You've been living with her for 5 and engaged to her for 5. How come you don't marry her?
Look the way she acting now. They say it gets worse when you get married. And you know, all my friends, the ones that have got married, you know, after they do get married, everything was good before they got married. But then here is a year or 2 later, they talking about getting divorced and stuff. So I'm like, wow. And she's watching Yes to the Dress all day, sitting at the house, want to get married, talk about marriage all day. So I'm like, come on now.
Well, my understanding is that even though you don't want to get married, you've given her 5 engagement rings, kind of as like a hush ring.
Yeah, I give it.
So she'll stop talking about it.
Yeah, to reset everything, you know, calm back
They're
down.
right over there, and I want Nick to bring them to me.
Yeah, you know.
So I want to see the hush rings.
Yeah, I give it.
Now,
this number
Ms. Miller, you're the one who called them hush rings, so why don't you tell me?
All.
Well, how do you come by getting these and never get down the aisle? What happened?
We've been together 13 years. We've been living together almost 10 years. So after we had our first son, he brought it up to me. He's like, well, you know, he's holding the baby. Oh, you know, we're gonna get married. So then I'm blushing, but you know, then the next year he gives me a ring. Then every year it's like, okay, it's time. Here go another ring and another ring and another ring. And then this one was a few days ago. So still no date.
But we still together,
You're spending a lot of money on rings, Mr. Brown. You're spending a lot of money on rings. She got the one. All she wants is the band. She don't want any more diamonds.
I try to.
Well, I'm not gonna say all that, but you know what I mean.
You know, I really want to get married. You know, I want to, like I said, give my kids the 2-parent home that I never had. So that's why I've been trying to stay with her this long.
Right.
You know, everything is going going fine so far. So I figured.
So why mess it up with a marriage certificate?
With a marriage certificate, right?
I got you. Let me give my 10 cents on, you know, what you doing and why you don't have a wedding ring. Today's question sponsored by, what would you do if your partner blocked you on social media? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Y'all crazy, but y'all love each other. You not going nowhere, she's not going nowhere. I think one of the reasons he don't want to lock it down, because you got a level of crazy going on about the potential for cheating that he can't tie himself down to. When you lit up on my producer like, oh, well, who are you? That spoke to me. Not because you were mad at my producer, but she's a woman calling from a show trying to talk to your husband, and you're convinced he's cheating with her. It's not rational. You on his job, you gonna mess up his money on his job, worrying about a woman you can't identify. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do, but I think I was rather nice about it. I wasn't mean at all.
You shouldn't have been there at all.
It was the energy he gave me.
Oh, listen, the energy. You need to stop that. Whatever energy you got is wrong. It's just wrong.
Right. You're right about it.
And I think a lot of women have it these days, and I think it's because of social media and the DMs, so there's always these opportunities for hearing and seeing things. But they've lit up the fear centers of your brain, and you're running on hysterical all the time, waiting for that direct message. Oh, there's this way and there's this way. You know, he don't want to hear all that drama. Oh, give it to him. Cool out, chill out. He's a wonderful brother. I like him. I know you like him. And I hope you live to be 150 years old. But if a bus hit him tomorrow, you would live on. You would mourn and get over it. You're acting like if he went off somewhere, your life would be over, and it wouldn't. See what I'm saying? But you're living under that stress.
Right.
You're fighting like somebody's trying to drown you every day. Aren't you tired of it?
Yeah, I am.
Free yourself.
I am.
Just trust him. It won't hurt you. And it will actually strengthen your marriage, and then you might actually get down the aisle. Good advice. I hope you take it. This matter is adjourned.
Why is marriage so important to you?
That's the way I was raised. Like, everyone in my family is married, and I know what a woman is supposed to be like, and, you know, she's supposed to be honored, loved, and cherished, and I don't want nothing different than that.
Think you'll make it down the aisle?
Hopefully one day.
Give me a timeline. Anytime soon?
Today on Divorce Court.
Alisa is controlling because she wants her way, and that's her way, and that's it.
What I do for Charles to keep him on track with his finances, his paycheck, I take it.
Alicia controls the money around the house, and she only give me $25 out the check.
So in the beginning when I met Charles, he was very attentive to me and was very obedient, if I can say obedient. Not like a puppy dog, but still obedient.
I see myself with Alicia for the rest of my life because I truly love her. The last year or so, it's kind of like I'm in hell.
Divorce court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Charles Barge and Alicia Tate. The two of you have been together 4 years, and you're here for reasons I have yet to ascertain, but I'm sure I'm going to figure it out along the way. And so I'm going to start with you, Mr. Barge. Tell me about your relationship with Ms. Tate and why we're here in divorce court today.
My relationship at first with her was great, wonderful.
Right.
But now it's kind of like, it's just going downhill right now.
What I get from this is that she's a control freak.
Yes, control, definitely.
Give me some examples of the things that she does that are so controlling.
Well, first of all, she want that money, so she can control that.
Do you both work?
Yes, we both work.
Okay. And who handles the money?
She does. She handles all the bills and everything.
So what does that look like? You guys put your money in a community pot? Tell me what that looks like.
Well, we put it in just for like business-wise, making sure that she handle all the business, so that's why I give her all the money like that, but at the same time, it's like, it's still a control, like it's an abuse of control now, you know, like the verbal talking, the disrespecting, the...
What did she say to you that's disrespectful?
Well, she just all calling me stupid, retarded, like, all types of stuff, you know, it's just, sometimes I just feel like what am I doing wrong, like...
Right.
And I'm more respectful, like, but what am I doing, you know, to be treated this way?
My understanding is she demands 100% of your paycheck every week.
Yes.
Which is around $2,100.
Yes.
And gives you $25 a week back.
Yes.
Is that accurate, Ms. Tate?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Can you explain why it is you're comfortable keeping him on such a short leash?
Well, I am comfortable with keeping him on a short leash because of the things that he likes to do with his money. We don't have a community pot. The community pot is right here in my pocket. He go catches his check, he come home, and he brings it to me. What I feel like he needs, he gets it at that point in time. He has recreational habits that I don't concur, so therefore he gets what I give him to spend.
Woo! Woo!
And
and you've been doing this for 4 years?
Yes.
Do you care about how he feels at all?
I sure does. I do care about how he feels, but I also care how my household is ran and where the hard work and money goes.
So $25 a week you think is enough for this man to get?
$25 a week is just basically for his food, but if he need gas because of the company that he works with, they supply that for him as well. So yeah, $25. If you need a little bit more throughout the week, come tell me about it, and then I'll go ahead and make the arrangement. But I take care of Charles all the way down from the head to the toe.
Ms. Tate, I understand. After knowing him for a day, you moved him in.
The next day.
The next day.
Correct.
Explain that, because you have children, right?
Correct.
Explain how you were comfortable enough with a man within 24 hours to move your children, move him in the house where you have children.
Well, it was the demeanor. I went and picked him up from his mother's home at that particular time, his grandmom, who raised him. I met his family the first day when we did go out in public with my kids alone. Just the atmosphere itself, the attentiveness, the honesty that I had, the background that I got from him, and a couple of questions that I do ask upon meeting somebody. And at that point in time, I was like, hey, driver's license, job, you know, no real criminal background, no real felonies. We can get you somewhere. He good.
Yeah. Let me tell you why you're wrong, and so clearly wrong, and why I have to speak on that wrong. You know, the instance of abuse goes way up when you have an unrelated male in the home. It just does. Right. Ted Bundy was a charming somebody. Mm-hmm. He'd be nice and charming, funny, bright, right before he hit your head with that pipe and it strangled you. You don't know anybody well enough in 24 hours to put your children in harm's way like that. I'm not saying you a bad guy. I ain't saying that. I don't know. I mean, you put up with a whole lot more than I would, but you know, but you can't do that. Your children have the right to be free of assault and injury, and you can't make that assessment knowing somebody 24 hours. Shame on you, Ms. Tate. Shame on you. Tell me some other controlling things she does.
Oh, well, you know, I try to go get my hair cut down different times, like if I'm getting off work and everything, and I say, hey, well, I'm finna go and get my hair cut, but I gotta go to the east side of Atlanta, you know, to go do it.
How can you afford a haircut? Ms. Tate, are you treating him like a kid?
Yes, I am, because if you go somewhere and you come home and you done tore up my cars, yeah, I want to know. And then you can't explain why the whole side of my car is gone, why my brand new car have 2 flat tires on the same. When I ask you what happened to my vehicle, you say, I don't know, some ran in front of me, I might have hit a pole, and this is $5,000 or $6,000 of damage that you're bringing cars home. You done tore up 2 cars, 2 brand new cars. You
tore up 2 brand new cars?
No, one
There's one there.
One, yeah.
Did you do that?
Yes.
Did you hit a pole?
No, it was on the side of like a little ditch or something like that, and I hit something. Like I got out and looked at it. It was like a boulder or something. Like that, so.
Hit something.
No, and I explained to her. I called her and I showed her that.
Okay, now that's one accident. You've had another accident.
No, just with the tire. This on.
What happened with the tires?
The Charger. The tire blew out on the road, and I told her. And that's all I did is got over, and I called her just like I do all the time. When I'm at work or anything, I call her and say, hey, this is such and such happened. And I called her, I said, I got a flat.
You talked about it like he's out there, you know, just riding and running things down. He had one accident and his car and a tire went flat. How is that making him irresponsible?
Because you can't tell me the same story twice about that car. When you brought the Charger back, it wasn't 1 flat, it was 2 flats on the same thing. Then the windshield wiper had it. I'm asking you what is happening. You can't give me a straight answer all the time when I ask you.
Yeah, you hard to talk to, Ms. Tate. I don't blame him. Mr. Bars, I believe, my understanding is you believe she's cheating on you, so I want to know why you think that.
She has gone out with this person at night, saying that they were just doing business transactions, but these are things that she
So you think she's sleeping with this famous rapper?
Not think. This is something she told me.
So, Mr. Bard, you believe that Ms. Tate is cheating on you. Why do you believe that?
First of all, I have the evidence right here.
Okay. Now, what am I looking at?
Those texts come from her sister saying that she was cheating with some guys and going out and all that stuff. And at first, you know, I didn't believe it because I was at work, minding my business, working. I do tree service. So it's dangerous just looking at a phone 90% of the time and everything. So I seen the text and everything. I actually put it down, didn't worry about it. But I started getting phone calls, you know, repeatedly, like both on back and forth, like she calling.
Saying
she's
what?
Calling. Well, she's calling saying that Alicia doing stuff, you know what I'm saying, calling me out my name and all that stuff and dogging me out and all that. And she's calling me, telling me that her sister.
Don't believe it.
Yeah, don't believe it.
And this is her sister right there, Kiwana Poole. Why don't you come forward, Ms. Poole, while I ask your sister, Alicia Tate, what do you have to say about his allegations that you're cheating on him and calling him out his name and talk about him like a dog?
I do use names when I speak to him when I'm angry and reach that height. As far as me cheating, I never cheated on Charles. The text messages that was sent over from Kiwana Poole was actually out of anger of money that she said I owed her. So when she texted me previously, she was like, if you don't pay me my money, I'm going to send Dro text messages and tell him you're sleeping around with someone that I know in the industry that he doesn't like anyway. She knew this and she played upon him because she know how he feels about me and the relationship me and him have that she don't have.
Ms. Poole, how are you?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm just fine. So
Wonderful.
Why don't you tell me why you believe Ms. Tate is cheating on Mr. Barge?
Well, the first thing is that I was at an event. She called me when this famous rapper here in Atlanta was there in the car with her. They ride around all the time, and he spoke to me. She introduced me to him, and she said, say hello. I said hello, and so that is not a belief. That's what happened.
Well, that's not cheating.
Well, no. Did he know about it? He didn't know him.
It's a little shady and tacky.
Thank you.
But it's not cheating. Any other kind of proof, anything you've seen, anything you got, anything.
She has gone out with this person at night, saying that they were just doing business transactions, but these are things that she
So you think she's sleeping with this famous rapper?
Not think. This is something she told me.
That's not true.
Did you tell her?
No, that's not true, and that's not how it started. She chimed my phone to talk to me about the phone bill she's speaking of. When she called me, I answered my phone. She told me she would call me back. I'm like, okay, I'm in the middle of moving. I do a lot of stuff. I own my own company. I'm doing a lot of things in Atlanta. So when she tried to call me back, I couldn't answer the call. When she tried to call me back again, it was 10 o'clock at nighttime. I didn't answer the phone. The next day, she started harassing me and texting me about the phone bill. Then she said if I don't answer her phone, she was going to send him out text messages about me and the rapper guy. So
This is a hot mess and a broken bottle.
It is.
I'm going to try to solve the mystery of the famous rapper and the cheating by getting some down-home proof next.
She talks about how stupid he is. He's slow. She's done that, you know, around her children and talked about how slow he is.
Do you talk about him like that? Would you ever consider moving in with someone after knowing them for only one day? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court. Today's question sponsored by Divorce Court. Will be right back. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed a show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms, and for exclusive content, go to Apple TV. Now, Nick, I want you to take this over there to Ms. Tate. Ms. Tate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my understanding, because I had to have somebody explain to me because I didn't get it, is the conversation has occurred through emoji and GIF in which a waterfall, which you posted a waterfall, which means you're in a state of sexual excitation.
Yes.
No.
I don't understand.
Right. And I get it. And that's what it looks like if you don't pursue anywhere further with your mind. This was actually one of the pictures my mom didn't send me. But because I move around a lot and because I go from 0 to 120, she sends me meditation things. So some of the things that she may send me, I may send out and say, hey, you know, I know your schedule is busy. You're flying here to there. You're always out. Hey, you might want to try this meditation tactic. Do this. Because when I send you stuff, half of the time you don't get it and
you don't
understand
send me nothing, period.
Oh, my goodness gracious, God.
Don't send me nothing.
That's the problem.
I don't want to talk about this anymore because I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if she's fooling around or not. Why don't you tell me, does she treat him poorly?
Yes, she does.
Can you give me some examples of some of the ways in which she mistreats him?
She talks about how stupid he is. He's slow. She's done that, you know, around her children and talked about how slow he is.
Do you talk about him like that? Do you say things like that?
I do.
And what makes you think it's okay for you to do that?
It's not okay. When I do get angry enough, it's the dialogue that me and him is having.
Do you talk about him to other people and use those terms?
I have to my sister after we reunited because if I hold it in, I'm going to go crazy.
Okay, let me tell you something, Ms. Tate. You can fast talk all you want to, but there is class and there is lack of class. And that lacks class. He's your man. He's your man. You don't talk rude about him. You don't talk rude to him. If you're irritated, if you're irritated, you behave like a grown woman and not a child who's in a playground calling names because you don't have any more sense than that. That right there is a sign of a slow mind.
Well, if you
oh, no. There's no fight in that one. If you're on text anywhere calling people names, that's because you don't have capacity and ability. Put that finger down. I don't want to see it
I'm
again.
sorry, I don't text
Thank you
names.
very much. I was alluding to someone else. We all know who doesn't know how to act right.
Okay. And may I say something, Justin?
No! Please have a seat.
Okay.
Do you want to keep her?
I mean, I've been going through it since day one, and it's right now, like I said, it's shaky because I put a vow into her daughter, you know, that I was gonna be there. She asked me to be there, and she asked me, and every day that I come home, every day, she tell me she love me, and when I leave, even when I'm going out the door, she wanna come with me. That's how she's seen, and that's how she been with, and she knows that. And she know that I would never hurt her. She know that I would never turn my back on her. She turned her back on me several times, and I stayed there strong, go to work every day, and still come home and give her the money with no problem.
All right. I can't fault you for being a stand-up dude.
Yeah. But treating me like a doormat, like I'm
Yeah,
a
I'm going to talk to her about it. I don't think it's going to do any good, but I'm going to talk to her about it.
Yes.
Today's question sponsored by... What would you do if your partner demanded your paycheck every week? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. For the remainder of this proceeding, it is me and it is all me. We used to call you a toner guy back in the day. Back in the day, we'd get a guy that's stand-up, good-looking, got a job, got it all together, and the woman isn't treating him right. We would run out of toner. That was the ink that we used to use for our emails, because women would just flood us with phone numbers, addresses, and pictures, and go get them. They're gonna blow up our inbox over you. There's a difference between self-confidence and being crass, and you're crass. It is unfortunate that you have caught the attention of a good man who loves your daughter so much, he is willing to put up with the rude, unkind, destructive, demeaning behavior you send in his direction. I don't know how you can look at yourself every morning and do this to somebody else. I don't know how you can take a man who's taken on your life and your daughter and given you your paycheck and come in here with your fingers all up in the air talking about how stupid he is and this, that, and the other thing and think it's okay. I don't know how you can do that. I don't know how you can speak badly about your man to somebody else, even in the heat of the moment. I don't know how you can speak badly to your man in the heat of the moment when that guy is coming across as cool and as good as he did. He makes a little bit of error. You pretend it's a whole lot more than it is. You need to be a better person. You don't deserve him the way you are now. Mr. Barge, if I were you, I would puff up and stand up a little bit. You don't have to give her the whole check.
Yes.
You know what I mean? She said, and I know what she said.
Yeah.
That if you don't get the whole check, you can go bye-bye.
Yeah.
She ain't gonna let you go.
No, she ain't gonna let
She
me
can't
go.
get nobody else.
Ain't nobody else.
That's not true.
So that's cheating.
I hope
then.
you're
So
a better person one day that deserves the guy that you got. Being crass and rude and ridiculous is not a way to keep a man, and one day he'll get sick of it.
Thank you.
This matter is adjourned.
Judge Lynn said he could do better, that he should move on, and he deserves better than this. What's your reaction to that?
What I do in my household, it just is what it is. If you don't like it, you have free will. I'm gonna keep moving and keep progressing with or without him.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, pleasure.